Hello everyone and welcome back to my Let's Play of Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment. So last week we finished that very short case. But now there was something with a garden, I seem to remember.
A map of London and the surrounding area.
Let's go to the Kew Gardens. See how long this will take. I suspect it will take a bit longer. I also believe there's only one more case after this. Or at least that's what I, got from the achievements. But there might be like some kind of, ending part, a bit like in the previous game. But I don't really see how that would actually be the case. Because it doesn't really look like there's one big enemy in this game. It really seems to be a bunch of cases, that aren't really connected.
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
Alright, let's investigate by talking to these people.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer. And without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favor for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. And that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
I wonder if it will just, be only
Here
a
it is.
case
This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
about stolen plants.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
Oh, so there's a murder?
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he died here just 2 days ago.
Huh.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The two of you were good friends?
He was my father.
Hmm.
Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
So there's
You
the
say
murder.
that he died here, in the large glass house.
Holmes?
Yes, just here, near the door to the colonial collection. He suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
Okay, so there we have our murder. This place looks pretty nice. But
The plants were here. All of them.
what does the warning
Do
say?
not touch.
or you'll die. But yeah, probably those stolen plants have something to do with...
According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found dead.
damaged panel.
The door was smashed at shoulder height. This door handle is new. It was recently changed.
So there
The
was forced
ensconcement
entry?
was breached near the handle. The door was forced from the inside of the Colonial Collection Room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to
Yes, I know, but first we have to
The
do
traces are
this.
thinner in some places. These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though someone was dragging their feet. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here.
Then we have this.
Soil. It should have come from a flower pot. Soil. It should have come from a flower pot.
Yes, but there's stuff in there.
Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here.
Is there more? Oh.
This pot was broken fairly recently. A flower pot recently fell down from these shelves and was misplaced.
Interesting. Well, I think we got most of it here. Let's get the plant list.
Here is a list of the stolen plants.
Okay, for a moment I was worried he was going to, like, read them all. But fortunately he didn't. What's this? Okay, so this is where the something came from.
These plants come from all the territories.
Oh,
of
isn't
the
this
British
like
Empire.
big flower? Isn't that the one that smells like rotten meat?
Very strange. Half of the colonial collection is absent. The smell is strong. It is a detergent.
Did they get rid of blood or something?
This broken fragment was the result of a heavy blow. A fragment of marble, most likely chipped from a statue or sculpture. These windows were perfectly cleaned. Part of this greenhouse was emptied and thoroughly cleaned.
But why?
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Okay, so search archives. Okay. Let's see. Find the stolen plants and examine the place where Montague Dunn met his death. Okay, so what people do we have now? No new people? No, I think oh,
This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it. Blood. Someone fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound. All the clues around here are quite suspicious. I need my imagination to make sense of it all.
I wonder if, like, Sherlock well, he probably does, just walks around, looks at stuff, and just because he doesn't talk, you know. If you hear his voice, he's not speaking, so he's actually thinking it. And Watson is there. What are you doing? Would be. Oh, what's this? Uh, I guess first was breaking the door, knocking over the pot, and then falling on the fence. That makes sense, at least.
This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked? Was it an accident, or a murder then, I wonder?
Probably a murder. Okay, so I have to find the stolen plants. Can I already get some... What's this? Perform autopsy. Perform an autopsy on Montague Dunn. The death is suspicious. Why had he forced the door of the Colonial Collection Room? Why had someone cleaned and emptied the room? Was the trap or a simple accident? It was a trap. I'm sure of it. Where are we?
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Let's just explore the area a bit before I go back to Baker Street to search the archives and because I'm pretty sure I won't be able to find anything here, but at least oh.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Well, I don't see why not. So, do you work here?
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only. For I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
You're following in your father's footsteps, then. That is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
Okay, let's see. Yes, the thing on his chin. Yeah, well, that's probably because his father died. Clean hands, so he's not working with plants or something.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Okay, let's see what this guy has to say.
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
Wow, he has much to say. Okay, so inexpensive glasses. So this guy's probably not that rich. Dirty collar. Married. And gardener's hands.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Oh, look, a map. That might actually be helpful. So we are here. Okay, so this is where the plants were stolen and the guy died. This is where he was locked up.
Water Lily Greenhouse. Colonial Collection.
Okay, so he's just going to read that. Well, let's see if we can find that.
Locked.
Oh. Okay. No, yeah, thank you. Let's see if we can find that woman. There was a woman
Locked.
here, right? But apparently we can't. So, well, let's go to Baker Street. And we have new people. We have Martin Hamish. Martin Hamish is unmarried. His hands and nails resemble those of a gardener. They are dirty and swollen. He is short-sighted, wearing bifocals to correct his vision. He's very plain. He works hard to the point of neglecting his appearance, and it is sadly unlikely that he has any female companion. Lives alone. And then we have Albert Dunn. He is a nervous and anxious young man, clearly evident by his bitten fingernails. Huh. He uses a quantity of detergent with which to clean his hands, which is a poor decision seeing as he handles plants and soil. His eyes are red, he has been weeping very recently. His age tells us that he's still at university. He's good looking, unmarried, and probably still lives with his mother. But apparently he's using detergent. And didn't we find a lot of detergent on the floor? Oh yeah, the archive. Well, that I guess that would be an encyclopedia. Botany. These plants have a certain toxicity in common, more or less variable. Dionii, Dea, whatever. Carnivorous, yep. Carlina inebriari, yes. Florum diabolica. Okay, that's not among the... Oh wait, it is. Chromolena odorata. Yes, that's also Prunus serotina. Yep. Helium forest. Yeah, well, that's the same thing. Biblis, yes. Only the first three can be dangerous to humans, particularly Florum diabolica, but only under very specific conditions. The plant should react to a process of aggression, against which it will issue deadly spores.
Here it is.
Interesting. Well, time to go to Scotland Yard to see if we can find these spores. Oh, that's probably also why they said, do not touch. Do we have new stuff here? No.
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then.
Okay, it's going. I'm going to say that his son is the killer because he wants to be the boss. Letter to a printing company. My friend, your posters for the great exhibition at Kew Gardens are very beautiful, but it is surely unnecessary to mention all of the staff. My name alone will be sufficient. Montague Dunn.
A beautiful feather pen of a good make. A membership card for the London Crest Club. This watch is of great value.
Okay, that's it. I guess so. Our bodies are down here.
First of all, let us carry out an external examination. No redness, stings, or bruises.
Let's check out his left hand.
Nothing suspicious here. There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination, so that we can proceed with the autopsy.
Yes, I'm working on it. Well, he has
There is
a
an injury
cut
to the
there.
skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse.
Yep.
The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal. The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma.
What? How?
Now, let
Never
us
mind.
examine the internal organs.
Oh, this looks so realistic. Okay, the stomach. Oh,
The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs. There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death.
okay, so that really wasn't anything interesting.
The
Liver.
is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction. The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction. The liver tissue is brown.
There.
There are no visible pathological signs.
Okay, let's see what's wrong with the
heart's
heart.
blood vessels show no pathological signs. The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs.
Okay, so it's heart. His heart is also fine.
The lungs are congested and edematous.
That doesn't sound good. Oh, that definitely
The
doesn't
tissue
look
on
good.
the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant. My suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean
Yes, it is murder.
we should inform Lestrade?
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No, we also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No, a few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson, it is time now to open the doors.
Even those in the staff building. I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
Yep.
More than a little.
Okay, so let's see. Find stolen plants, find the plant that we used to kill, inspect the buildings, and find out who killed this guy.
What should we do next, Holmes?
We should get out of here. Wait, are there any clues, or can I go back to... I don't think I actually have to talk to Lestrade. So let's just go back to the gardens immediately. So what do we have here? Deadly plants were stolen and there was a poisoning, so those two are probably connected. Wait, where's the other deduction? It's gone. Oh well. Theft and murder. The killers, or this is for the different one maybe. I don't know. The killers may be those who stole the exotic plants, including the deadly species from the last exhibition at Kew Gardens. Okay. Poisoning, and he was trapped. So, after being trapped in a colonial collection room by the killer, Montague Dunn was affected by inhaling a virulent vegetal poison. Yep, that's also what happened, I think. And we already connected these two, right? Not entirely sure. Good day, Mr. Hamish. Oh, that's a lot.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, oh, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
Okay.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression, great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
Which was mostly drinking, I believe.
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say? He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That
And
he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Oh yeah,
Mr.
the
Hamish,
keys.
can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before, and now all of a sudden he is trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
Okay, interesting. So we have that going on
What
as
is your
well.
opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was.
Oh yes, he forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
Yeah, where is she actually?
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Tell me,
So
Mr.
there's a lot of stuff going on
do you
here.
grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Well, let's talk to Albert. Get his side of the story, get the keys, all that.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Okay. Yeah, let's get the keys
Do
first.
you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Yeah, I'll get that at some point.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah. At the moment, I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens, and I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
I don't know, I don't trust him.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? Well, that is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
And why?
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself.
Well, that
But my
he
father
did.
treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Yes, we shall. Okay, what time is it? Can I...
Just be careful with the plants during your inspection.
The director's office.
Locked.
No, it's not.
Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
Let's see. New plant species. The Kew Gardens team are pleased to announce the successful production of a new variety of barley, one that retains a complete resistance to the cold. They've named it the Siberian barley. How creative. Mr. Martin Hamish, the proud cultivator of the graft, will hold a press conference next Monday morning upon this very subject. See the breakup. My dearest Margaret, following our last conversation, I believe it might be better if you vacate your position here at Kew Gardens. As you pointed out quite bluntly, you are no longer in need of my support. You are quite able to stand up for yourself in this world. As you say, well, I give you back your freedom and wish you nothing but good luck. Interesting. Find a use for the keys and find a use for the fragments of a statue. Now there's also a safe. And what do we have here? Champagne.
French wine, a remarkable vintage. Champagne. Montague Dunn had good taste.
That seemed to be quite pointless. Oh my god. Nope. Oh my god. These were 2, 3. Damn it. Oops. I think those were 3. Damn it. Okay. 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to say that there. That was kind of annoying, but let's see what we found. A letter to a lawyer, or from a lawyer. My dear friend, please allow me to express my disappointment upon reading your last letter. I am paying you to defend me, not to accuse me. Kew Gardens is a royal institution. We are granted the great opportunity to travel the world and to save the most extraordinarily precious and rare of species of plant. Our duty is to protect such species and from those who might wish to use them for a dubious purpose. This divine syndicate of whom you speak have no right to hold such precious plants. Remember the case of June 14th, 1889. Whatever the hell that is. So I must respectfully ask you once again to notarize the permission on these plants on behalf of Kew Gardens. The documents were sent to you on Monday. P.S. See you in Boodles on Tuesday, as always. A letter of complaint. The case. Mr. Dunn, we must ask you, for the last time, for the return of our dear sisters. You do not have any right to hold them imprisoned. They do not belong to you. Your so-called permissions are wholly false. You are hiding behind lies. The lie, we need not to elaborate, that was reported in the press as the case of June 14, 1889. What you have done is quite abhorrent. Be very sure that we shall never abandon our family members who trusted you and regret having done so. The Divine Syndicate. So, some kind of plant liberation group is after this this thing. And another
I
letter.
suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
Oh, let's see. Debt of Miss Margaret White to Mr. Montague Dunn, rental of suite rooms at Oxford Street, an educational scholarship at the London University, credits opened at Hamilton, Redigan House Tailors, and at Baird and Sons Luxury Jewelers. Then the question is, how was she repaying him? But anyway, that will have to. Ooh, what's this? Is that the? Oh yeah, that's the guy. But that will be enough for today. So next time we'll meet Miss Margaret White, I guess, and do some more investigating. But for now, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll speak to you guys next time.